Welcome to Crimson Guitars. We have been building this Claro walnut and rosewood necked Robert Fripp signature guitar for a while now, and I think this is day 18 or something like that, day 19. Not full time. It pays to take your time when you're building a custom guitar and make sure you think everything through, especially when you're creating something with a piece of wood as valuable as this one. Anyhow, in the last episode, I suppose, you saw us carve the neck shape and the body and throw a heck of a lot of dust up in the air. And the guitar is almost at the stage where we need to fine sand it. I'm finding it rather difficult to talk today. Now the problem is, there is one last job to do. This headstock, while attractive, is not what we want. For strength and also for looks, we are going to be putting on an ebony veneer. And the client had the option to have a Claro walnut veneer to match the body, but we decided instead to have a Claro walnut inlay of the logo, or outlay, you'll see later, and that will match the colouring on the fretboard. And I'm quite happy with that. I think that there are a few things more classy than a nice ebony headstock veneer. This is probably because I'm somewhat of a sucker for Gibson Les Pauls, rather obviously. Yeah, I just like the aesthetic. So we're doing that. Now, I obviously do everything slightly differently, and I don't want a truss rod cover that is stuck on the top. And we will be recessing that truss rod cover. So the first things first, we need to cut out the truss rod shape and make sure we know where everything is going. So let's go. Now at this stage I'm starting to look at the finer and finer details of this guitar, and that needs to be square there and there. It doesn't have to be, but it looks a little bit better. So I'm going to have a quick go with the bobbin sander, actually, I think, just to tidy that area up, and then we will get back to our veneer. Drum sander didn't work with this tighter, smaller curves, so it's on to the same tool from Carroll Sanders, but mounted in my hand drill, which is more useful, if anything. You just have to be very, very aware of what you're doing. Now, positioning is key. I'm going to cut the truss rod cover shape out of the veneer, and it needs to line up perfectly. I'm using the beautiful, wonderful, amazing, what's it called? General Ultra Rule. There we go. Just to help out here. Although a more prosaic and normal one would probably do the job. Anyhow, basically I'm just drawing a line on the top of my fretboard, matching up with the two central veneer lines, and I'm double checking my work. So with those there, I now know where exactly where I need to be. So I'm sure I have a template somewhere around. I just don't know where it is. Headstock. Aha! Here we go. Standard headstock template, and this has got a rough idea of the shape that I want. This has been used rather viciously in the past, but it certainly shows me what I need. Yep, just double checking. So there we go, and that's the sort of thumb truss rod cover, and it is now off to cut that out. I'm going to use the jeweler's saw. It's a little finer and easier to control. There we go. It's time to tidy up these saw cuts just a little bit. And that looks rather lovely to me now. So, time to glue. Seeing as I don't ever see the need to remove the veneer from the headstock, I'm using polyurethane glue, and instead of Titebond you can heat up or steam and it'll come apart. Polyurethane, no such luck. Which is why I tend to use this for fretboards, for gluing fretboards on. I use polyurethane for everything except gluing fretboards on and for neck joints, because fretboards often have to come off, and so do neck joints. Not on my guitars, albeit, but it pays to be kind to repair guys in the future if you can help it. Always spread the glue as much as you can. I buy these, I suppose they're credit card blanks really. Glue is slippery, of course, so hold it in place and make absolutely certain that it doesn't move as you clamp. In fact, I'm going to move my caul just a little bit back so I can see where my truss rod hole is, just to be absolutely certain. And you can never use too many clamps, really. So I always overdo this, but better a perfect joint than a substandard guitar, because substandard guitars get burnt. There we go. Check around the edges now. I need another clamp there, just for fun. The neck is now very heavy. There we go. I couldn't be happier. And that will be left to cure now for Well, this glue cures in an hour or so really, but I will leave it overnight. Thanks for watching. This has been Crimson Guitars, and subscribe, all of that. Don't forget to come back and watch the rest of the videos.